if you are not my partner, you're not my girlfriend, I am single, you are single.
Actually, this guy is dating around. They don't consider him single. So they might be like, oh, he's a player because he's dating several people.
Did he say that I was dating somebody else, or did you just say he's dating somebody else?
No, he told me that he was seeing someone.
Douchebag.
Welcome to another episode of Men Explain, where I invite my man friends into this cozy little setting to chat about love, life, relationships, career, basically everything that I want and need to know right now in their current phase of life. And today, we're addressing the whole topic of being single for too long. Does that indicate that people have commitment issues? And to talk about commitment issues is none other than my friend with commitment issues. It's Avery, welcome back!
What's up? I don't have commitment issues. Actually, I don't know if I have commitment issues.
Let's break it down.
Find out.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all,
Yeah.
what do you define as single?
I'm not actively dating people.
Because do you consider that in a relationship or not in a relationship?
Okay, I think if you're just kind of dating around while you are not committed to one person,
Yeah.
I still feel that's single.
Single, right?
What do you think?
So yes, then I've been single for a very long time.
Oh, I'll walk right into that one.
I did.
Actually, how many years has it been since your last relationship?
Three and a half.
3.5 years.
3.5 years.
And during these 3 years, you were dating, right?
I was
But
dating.
Not
I was not in a serious relationship. I
Okay.
mean, even in that time, I was dating somebody long term.
Yeah.
I would consider it pretty serious. But yeah, no, we never got into a relationship.
Yeah. The thing is, I always found a bit of a difference. Like, I have some really close girlfriends that are single as well. One of them, you always try to hit on her, but it never happens.
Move on!
And then there's you, or like my other man friends who are single, but they treat it quite differently, I feel. Do you think there's a difference in the way that men and women see being single?
I can't speak for the women,
Yeah.
but I can speak for men and myself.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to being single for me, a very, very clear indication is whether or not you are my girlfriend, you're my partner.
Yeah.
If you are not my partner, you're not my girlfriend, I am single, you are single.
Yeah.
Because to me, being in a relationship is very different. Right? Because once you're in a relationship, I am committed. We have, time that we have to spend together, and I want to do things with you. I want to give my 100% in a relationship.
Yeah. When I just started dating my current partner, right, we didn't really talk about like, oh, are you dating? Are you blah, blah, blah. We didn't really get into that whole deep conversation. We were just getting to know each other. So I assumed that with the way he was talking to me, I assumed that he's single. And then I realized as we talked that he actually was seeing someone at that time. So it wasn't that he was committed, he wasn't. So that's what you were saying, like he was dating around, but he wasn't committed yet. So sometimes I feel like when some of my friends are in that situation currently and they find out, oh, actually this guy is dating around, they don't consider him single. So they might be like, oh, he's a player because he's dating several people. Okay, hold up. You look like you want to clarify something right now. I'm just saying that it could be a difference in perception.
Did he say that I was dating somebody else, or did you just say he's dating somebody else?
No, he told me that he was seeing someone.
Douchebag.
He was just straight up saying, I am dating and I am currently seeing this other girl, but let me sort things out, because he didn't think that he was gonna run into someone fabulous like me. So that's why. Shut up. Yeah, so he was just being upfront and I appreciated the honesty. However, I was then like, so at which point do we start going out?
Right.
Yeah.
So I think there are levels to it, right?
Yeah.
The first level to me is like that you're just chatting.
Yeah.
Right, you're kind of getting to know the person, seeing whether you vibe or not. Once you're like properly dating is when you're like holding hands and like going out and you've kind of had a conversation about it already.
Yeah.
And then there's like one level above that, which is like, you're exclusively like, really trying
You
to...
had a chat about
Correct.
it and
You're like
you actually
really,
properly said.
You're like really, no other distractions. I am literally trying to see whether or not at this point we could last in a relationship.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, great. You know what? I think we're like cut out for each other.
There.
I'm ready, you're ready. Do you want to be my girlfriend? Let's make it work. Bam. Then I'm not single anymore.
Yeah.
To me, I've always hit this level, and then there's always something that's like there's a barrier.
Yeah, there is a
right?
bit of a...
Damn hard. Hello.
I mean, there is a zone where it gets a bit confusing, like whether or not you want to broach the topic.
With a lot of people, they
Yeah.
have different perceptions, right? And with the women as well, I don't know how you all think.
Okay, ask me.
Sometimes.
Okay, sometimes here we go. What?
Some
What's
of
the
the
question?
girls, right? It's like, when do you consider it, oh yeah, this guy is a player because he's talking to more than one person?
Right.
Or is he a player because we went out for a while, it was good, but suddenly he's like, oh no, I don't think it's gonna work. Like, in which stage?
I feel like you're asking for a
future
friend,
reference as
and
well.
that friend is you.
No, as in like, in which stage
Yeah.
do you be like, this guy's a dick?
I feel that if you already told me that you are seeing other people and that you're dating around, so I hope that you're okay with that. If you're not okay with that, then maybe this isn't a good idea. If you had a full conversation about it, like full disclosure, I think I don't have the right to call you a player because you were upfront about it. But I think a player is someone who may be concealing other women and not being honest and upfront about it. Because if I just said, hey, like, I really enjoyed our time together, but I am currently going out with, just exploring connections with 2-3 other people. Hope you're okay with that. But I will say that being single does affect men and women differently. I don't know if you feel that way.
Elaborate.
But okay, so my single girlfriends, they do feel the pressure and the stress sometimes when they're single for too long. So I've got a very good girlfriend, do not hit on her, and she he has expressed multiple times that she's very cute, which she is. So she literally said no.
Yeah.
I don't want to go out with you. I think it has also been about 2 years since she's been attached. And during these 2 years of being single, initially it was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna live life, whatever. But soon you realize that I don't know if it's specific to women, but we seek for something a little different after a while. It was like, I just want someone to hug today. Like, it's raining, I just want someone to cuddle. And it's not even about hooking up. It's just someone that I can confide in.
I think this is where
Men
the
and women
difference
differ.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at least for myself, right,
Yeah.
I completely understand this side of how a woman thinks.
Yeah.
Because it's always like at the very beginning, it's like, but then the minute you start kind of developing feelings
Yeah.
and you start kind of, enjoying the person's company a little bit
Do
more.
they start to ask you like, oh, so what are we now?
Yes,
Yeah.
right? And there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
right?
no.
It's 100% in your own prerogative that your feelings are valid to say, I want to know what we are.
Yeah.
But I think this is where if you say, oh yeah, I've spent time with you, I've given you this, we've done this together, what are we? And if I say, I'm sorry, but I'm not looking for
Yeah.
anything serious, why am I the bad guy?
I think sometimes we always think that we can change the person. Like, someone says, oh, I'm just dating for now. And then I'll be like, give me 2 weeks. I got I don't know.
No, you know what?
I was being overconfident,
No,
okay?
I think where you're coming from, it's very common.
Yes,
I've heard
it
a
is
lot.
common. But also sometimes, we might feel overconfident in that moment because we're like, oh, I feel this way about this guy. Like, I
Right.
think I can convince him.
If that's the feeling, and then the guy doesn't change,
Yeah.
do you get angry with him?
No, I think I just kind of fade out. I have too much pride to admit.
When it comes to like the way guys think when it's in this phase, I think the biggest thing is communication. And if at any point from start to finish, right, if anybody says, you know what, I don't think it's working out, I don't think you can hold a grudge. I think it has to be like, okay, we tried.
So, when you were mentioning about how you established from the start with this girl that I'm not keen on a committed relationship at this time, we'll see where it goes. But it ended up being a relationship that went on for a couple of years and developed into something that was really comfortable for the two of you, right? But she did give you that time, and you guys are quite close in age,
Yeah.
which would mean that she would naturally start thinking about settling down
Yep.
and her biological clock. So, to that effect, do you think that you were being unfair not giving her that security and assurance that yes, I think I'm ready to think about settling down?
I completely agree.
Yeah.
And I understand from her perspective and this
Because women's perspective is very
No,
different. Like
100%.
in our early to mid 20s, some people already start thinking like, okay, I have to find a partner soon if I want to have a kid by the time I'm in my early 30s.
I think it was a little bit more complicated than that. Like, if I had started out the job a lot earlier, maybe sure. But I think because we got together before I started my job and midway through was when I started my job.
It was that transition, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It It was the
Yeah.
switch that was difficult because my life literally did like a 180 and I became so busy and there
Yeah.
were so many things happening at one time.
Our industry timings are never set.
When
yeah.
she's done with work, I'm working.
Yeah, you're just studying.
Yeah. So it was very hard to match that.
I definitely can relate to this because when I put myself in your shoes, and I started a lot earlier, I was like 20, 21 at that time. I was, aside from figuring my life out and finishing school, I was figuring my career out, figuring if this is what I really wanted to do. And then also juggling a relationship that was going on. But it was really hard because I don't think he understood my industry at all. And it was all very new to me. I didn't realize like, I have to do all this stuff outside of my actual day job, and I'm also still going to school, and I just couldn't match his pace of life. You know, he was significantly older, and at that time his friends also made fun of him like dating someone that was still in school, and I think he was just pressured to settle down.
You know, it's one of those things where I also firmly believe that if we both try it probably could have worked.
Do you think then that there's a big difference between men and women when we are looking for a life partner? Do you think that you are constantly searching for options before you settle down?
Me?
Yeah. No. Oh, sure, really?
No, I don't think I'm searching. Like, I think...
Like you go through options, like more options.
No, because I think it's a situation where if it happens, I'm happy. If it doesn't happen, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's a situation where I'm trying my best to be like, okay, in 2 years' time, I'm gonna be ready to settle down, so now I gotta find somebody so that in 2 years' time...
Some people are like that, you
No,
know?
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some people
Right?
are like this, and I'm just not like that. Like,
Nothing
I'm just not
wrong
built-
with being that way.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm reacting this way as a personal experience, nothing wrong, but
Yeah.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
People plan.
Okay, so this is why, right, I feel men end up dating a lot younger at some phase of their life. Why?
Yeah.
Sounds familiar, is it? Okay.
Okay. You know,
okay, I'm speaking from experience.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
speaking
you know
from
this as
experience.
well, right?
Yeah.
Like when Swans and I first met, I dated a girl that was way older than me.
Yes,
Right?
yes, yes.
And I was also a bit crazy over her.
I remember this.
Yeah. And as I grew older, I
And
started...
and because I ran into him and the girl by accident. It's like la di da, holding her hand, everything.
And she was just like...
And I was like, wait. And that's how I found out.
Yeah. As I grew older, I started dating younger.
Yes, so here's my theory, okay? I've always kind of dated older. Always have. The reason is, I don't feel like I can date men around my age anymore at this point. Because they're in a different phase of their life. Men, I guess because of NS and whatever, they took a little bit longer to build their career. I've had that head start of like working life, you know, like I've matured a little bit more. So my goals got shifted forward. And
Right.
I was like, okay, suddenly I wanted to be a homeowner at like 26 or something, which is really ahead of my other guy friends who are the same age as me. So then I realized, oh man, I am inclined to date someone older who understands my phase of life, even though our age gap is a lot bigger. And in comes Jeremy, right? He was very thrilled to find out that I wasn't rushing to get married. Because I think if he found anyone closer to his age, they might be rushing to get married because of the body clock. So I'm not sure if you've heard of the taxi cab theory before. There is a saying that men don't necessarily marry their true love or the love of their life. They just end up kind of settling for that person who is good for them in that moment.
Personally, I don't think I would marry
A person
just
that
for
you
the
don't
sake
have.
of marrying.
Same.
Yeah.
So I always thought about this. You know, one of my friends before getting married, we did have a conversation, and she was like, "Do you think I'm doing the right thing?" And I said, the fact that you're asking me that worries me a little bit, because for me, right, if a guy asked me to marry him and I even had a fiber of doubt, I will say no.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get to the point where like
It's too late.
Yeah, it's too late,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's never too late until you're like walking down the
Correct,
altar. So
correct.
even if it's like before that, I will say something.
Oh my god, I mean, we don't even talk about getting married, like, even in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
I will not ask somebody to be my girlfriend if I don't feel like...
100%.
Yeah.
So I think before we wrap things up, the one thing that comes to mind for me, sometimes I wish I had a period of time that I was single for longer. Because I've always been a serial relationship hopper, as you have noticed. I just go from one relationship to the next, and I never intend for it to be that way. I always come out of a relationship thinking, I'm gonna be single for a while, I'm gonna self-discover and explore and, you know, understand myself a bit better. And then all of a sudden, I'm in a relationship. But I'm lucky enough to have found partners that have allowed me to still have self-discovery along the way. And I think that for you, having been single for 3.5 years or so, you've also grown a lot, like
Yeah.
as an individual. So there's nothing wrong with being single for an extended period of time. It's just a period of self-growth.
I think being single and being in your own space
Yeah.
lets you learn a lot about yourself. And I think being in a relationship, you have somebody else to teach you things about yourself as well.
Yeah.
But it is important that, you know, take that singleness in stride and be able to use this time to be like, okay, I know what I want in a partner.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Thank you again for coming to join us. You're always welcome to come back and chat and talk rubbish. I'm down also, talk whatever.
Always
I'm
very
ready.
happy to be
Yeah,
here.
okay. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our channel and also follow us on TikTok. There's lots of good stuff over there. And we'll catch you on the next episode of Men Explain. Bye!
Boy. Behind the scenes.
Oh my god.
Sounds better like I'm buckling and unzipping.
unzip it
And then
when
me
she
when
lifted
we're
the
lift up
whole
the
thing
whole
up. I
thing.
was like,